My name is Vinicio. I'm in my fourth year at U of T. I study anthropology, which is really exciting for me.
What is your role at the art committee?
I'm a communications member for the Hart Art Committee. I collaborate with my friend Arena. She's like the chair of the communications program. And she and I basically market the events we have at the Hart Art Committee. We share like the different pieces from the art collection that we have. It's really interactive. It's more of like the outreach side of the Hart Art Committee. We're definitely more interactive with like the members of the community and making sure that they're being seen and represented like within the committee.
Why did you decide to join the art committee?
As an anthropology student, I want to work at a museum one day, and I wanted to see if there were any opportunities to work with the like U of T Art Museum. And I saw that there was an art committee that's like annexed. It's like part of the like art museum. And I was like, oh, that's such a good opportunity. Like I'd love to join. And I'm really glad I did because it's been really great so far. It's definitely been very special for me, like getting to know like the other members of the committee, being able to like work alongside like the art museum, getting to see like how the university approaches art, how the committee approaches art. Like it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed like my time here.
What was high school like for you?
I really enjoyed my high school. I went to La Jolla Country Day School in La Jolla, California. It's like a small beach town like north of San Diego. And it was great. I really enjoyed my time there. It's an outdoor school. Like there's no roof, like only for the classrooms. And when you're going in and out, like to the amphitheater, to the cafeteria, to like the lockers, everything is outside. It's so pretty, except for when it's raining. That's when it was a bit of a problem. But I really enjoyed high school. It was a lot of fun. I wanted to be a doctor for most of my life, but when I got to college, I'll get into that later, but that changed. And I took mostly like life science courses. I took a lot of like, I took AP Bio, I took AP Chem, I took AP Physics, honors neuroscience, like all that kind of stuff. And I enjoyed it. Like it was a lot of fun. My teachers were great. My friends were great. Like I had a lot of fun in high school. I had to take studio art, which I'm super bad at drawing. And my teacher understood that I'm more of a photographer. So like she let me do the assignment from like a photography point of view, which was really nice. And yeah, overall, like I loved my high school experience. It definitely prepared me for moving to college. I think the courses that best prepared me for my degree are English and okay, it's definitely English, history, and AP Bio. So my school was really big on English. Like we had really good English teachers, and we literally every single class we were either writing an in-class essay, or we had to turn in an essay, or we had to give a speech, or it was a lot of writing. And anthro is a lot of reading and a lot of writing. So I definitely got a lot of reading comprehension skills there. I definitely learned a lot about reading and writing. Definitely prepared me for that. History, same thing. Lots of reading, lots of writing. We had to give like little speeches. We would do a lot of, I don't know what we called them. They were like little pageants. We'd like have to like dress up as like members of like history, and we'd like reenact like historical events. And AP Bio, because my focus in anthropology is evolutionary anthropology. So evolutionary theory, how that relates to like culture and stuff like that. And AP Bio, obviously, we studied a lot of evolutionary theory, how that plays into biology, how that plays into like our daily lives.
What difficulties did you face in your final year of high school?
Senior year, the big thing, I'm sure, for every senior is applying to college. That was definitely the most stressful thing. Classes, not really. My school was really nice in the way that they kind of made senior year classes easier so that we could focus on like college applications and stuff. So college applications were definitely the hard part for me. And the funny thing is that I didn't really know where to apply. I didn't want to apply to Ivy Leagues because I don't like the like pretentiousness behind them, and I don't like the way some of them work. So I wanted to go for like more like nice and like fresher colleges, you know. But I didn't want to stay in the West Coast because I grew up there my entire life and I was just really bored of it and I wanted something different. This was during the 2016 election, and I'm Mexican, so I was personally offended. So my friend was like, what if you applied to the University of Toronto? I didn't know where Toronto was back then. Like I had never heard of it, didn't know what it was. And I was like, okay, sure, where is it? And she was like, in Canada. And that worked for me. So that's how I applied to U of T. And it's not a decision I regret at all. Like I've enjoyed so much of my time here. I'm really glad that my friend introduced me to U of T because I can't imagine myself in any other school.
How did you resolve them?
College apps were really hard, really stressful. Like having to send out like between 10 and 12, having to write all those or like answer all those short questions, having to write the essay, having to do so many things was definitely difficult. Like as I said, I wanted to study to be a doctor, like I wanted to do pre-med. And obviously that's very competitive in every school. And my sister, she's 5 years older than me, she told me to apply under like a less competitive track, you know, like something like I don't know. I don't want to bash on the other track, so I'm not gonna like name drop them. But I just applied for like a not as competitive track, and I'm really happy about that. I did apply for life sciences for U of T though. I was like, no, like if I'm gonna apply to U of T, I have to apply like head on, and I'm really glad I did because it worked out.
Did you ever doubt the path you choose?
I had a lot of doubts running through my mind applying to college because I wanted to be a doctor, especially because like my parents are like very they're not very conservative, but they're like very traditional, right? So they like always want to be me to be like a doctor, a lawyer, like stuff like that. You know, like the kinds of careers your parents want you to be. And I in high school, I really liked photography. I really liked graphic design. I wanted to apply to like an art school and like do like photography or like graphic design or like marketing, you know, like related to that. But it like crossed my mind that that was something that I wanted to do. And I didn't end up doing it, which I'm totally fine with because I like don't want to go down that track anymore. So if I had to give any advice, it would be that if you want to do it, do it. Like I'm a very spontaneous person. I like act on impulse a lot. I definitely follow my gut more than my brain, which doesn't always work out. But for the most part, instinct is definitely a good track. And even though I wanted to go down an arts path, I'm glad I didn't because it's not necessarily what I want to do anymore, even though like it's still like a part of me. Like I still do photography as a hobby. I still do graphic design as a hobby. I think that's a big thing for when you're a senior. It's very hard to choose between like if you have a lot of hobbies and you have a lot of things that make you passionate, it's definitely hard choosing just one. And so whatever you decide, it's going to be a good decision.
What was it like doing photography and graphic design in high school?
As I said, I went to school in La Jolla, which is a beach town in San Diego County. And so luckily, there's a lot of like really beautiful scenery. And so when I took photography in high school, the entire class was just take a camera. Like you would either have your own camera or like you could like use one from the school and just go outside. We would go outside, we would take pictures, we'd model, it was a lot of fun. Like when I took photography, it was when Instagram was really big on photography. It was like before like the influencer stuff, like big names like Zoe, Max Hanishak, like people like them. And my friends and I really liked them. We thought they were so cool. They like still are. And we just tried to like recreate their pictures. We tried to like do that. Like growing up in that environment was definitely a big inspiration for like me in like photography and graphic design because it gave me a very big creative outlet. Nowadays, I don't know what a big creative outlet for like high schoolers could be. I guess TikTok, but that's like videos. It's like I feel like it's harder to be creative with videos, you know, like because it's real time. It's not like photograph. That's just one shot and that's it. Like it just keeps going. So no, I enjoyed photography a lot. It definitely gave me a lot to look forward to. It gave me like the basics. Like I studied photography a little bit in middle school. Like that's when I got my first camera and I'd like play around with it. I like learned like a bunch of new stuff. But my photography class in high school was really cool because we learned a lot about like contre-jour. We learned a lot about like the different like mechanics and like how to get like a picture to look the way you want it to look. Like no, I had a lot of fun. And we had like Photoshop installed in like the school computers, so we could easily like edit pictures and like make them look cooler. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Is there anything high schoolers should be focusing more on?
Like looking back on my own high school experience compared to who I am now, I would definitely say be themselves, be authentic, be original, especially because like I remember being in high school, like we all wanted to be like Instagram famous. Like nowadays, people really want to be like TikTok famous and all that. And a lot of people will like copy different ideas or steal ideas like flat out. And or I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people like compromise like some of their values, beliefs, or like who they are for like notoriety and like just like maybe for likes. And I think that the most important thing you can do is be yourself, because if you like you for you, other people are going to like you. Like most Instagram influencers, most TikTok influencers, YouTube influencers, like they're famous for being themselves, you know, like they have their own brand, they know who they are, and they capitalize off that. So definitely relax, take a breath, think about who you are, think about who you want to be, where you want to go, how you're going to get there, and don't lose sight on that.
What is it like to study anthropology?
Studying anthropology is a bit of a hassle because we learn the same thing in every class basically. It gets a little boring at times, but I get that it's like the fundamentals and it's like we have to learn it, you know? But other than that, it's pretty fun. We get really interesting readings, or at least I have. I'm sure other people have taken different courses with different experiences, but I've liked the readings we've done. I like the assignments we've done. The program is really great. U of T has like the #8 anthropology in the world, which is great. Yeah, no, I really enjoy it.
Did anything surprise you during your first year at university?
I was really nervous to go to college. Like I was like, this is so grown up, you know? Like I just didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be a completely different world. And in a sense it is, but everything is pretty much the same. Like you go to class, you do your homework, you see your friends. That's basically it. The one thing that definitely changed between high school and college, like being in college changes the way you think so much. Like when I was in high school, I had like a very simple approach to things. Like it was just like what's in front of me and that's it. But ever since going to college, it's absolutely broadened my horizons. Like I think like I have a better worldview and I'm definitely less myopic about it. And no, college definitely opens your eyes a lot.
What courses have you taken?
My first year of college, like between the summer, between my senior year and my first year of college, I kind of decided that like I don't know, that's when doubt was really sinking in that I wanted to like do pre-med. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my first year of college to really like sit back, let the work speak for itself. And so I took basic classes, English, history. I took a seminar on astrophysics because I think it's really cool. So those are the classes I took, really basic, just really like all around subjects because I wanted to get like a feel for like what college life was like, right? Like I didn't want to like dive right in. I wanted to just put my hand in the water, see if it's warm, stuff like that. And it was great. Like I didn't sense like it was a big like shift in workload. Like I think I dedicate the same amount of time to my homework I do in college than I did in high school, which is great. I took a summer semester between first year and second year, and I took physics and math because I took that seminar on astrophysics, right? And I was like, this is so cool. If I'm not going to be a doctor, I want to be an astrophysicist. So I took physics and math, which were a lot of fun. They were very helpful, but really hard. If you should know anything about U of T, it's that it's really hard, especially for math. Like math at U of T is really, really hard. And I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. So I started thinking, my friend was taking an anthro course in the second semester of summer school. And I was like, okay, I'll take it with her. I've always been interested in anthro. I think it's cool. Never taken one. Let's see how it goes. I took it. I fell in love with the subject. Like, I don't know if it was the prof. I don't know if it was like the readings we did or a combination of it, but that class was amazing. It absolutely changed the way I look at the world. And I was like, this is it. This is what I want to study. And so my second year, I took all anthro courses, linguistic anthropology, evolutionary anthropology, social culture anthropology, like you name it, I took it. Like I could not get enough. And then I took a gap year. I've since been taking a gap year, but I've really been enjoying my time at university and in anthropology. It's great. Like if I had to choose a favorite course, it would definitely be, I think it's medical anthropology. Like it was so cool. Like we have like such like, I know it's like maybe I have like a bias because I wanted to be a doctor, but at the same time, like it's just so like we have such like a set way of looking at medicine, right? We're like, oh, it's so scientific, it's so like very like STEMmy, but like medical anthropology is like, no, let's actually look at minorities and how Black communities, Latinx communities, Asian communities are like being oppressed by like medical systems, how they don't have like equal access to healthcare, like stuff like that. And I definitely think that anyone, like if you're studying arts, if you're studying pre-med, if you're studying history, like it doesn't matter. I think everyone should take at least one anthropology course because I guarantee you it's going to change the way you look at the world. If not the world, maybe like one thing, but still, like it definitely opens your eyes a little bit.
What extracurriculars are you doing in university?
Even though I'm studying anthropology, I don't want to be an anthropologist. I want to go to law school and then do marketing. So they're not necessarily the same, but they're more linked than you think. I'm going to leave it at that. But because if not, I could go on for hours. But right now, I'm a member of the Hart House Art Committee. I write for the varsity. Oh, I'm in the History Students Association. It's a long story, but and there's one thing I'm forgetting. Oh, I'm on the Acorn advisory team. So Acorn is like our student portal, basically. Like if you need to look at your grade, like your degree, like how you're doing, stuff like that. Like Acorn's where you go. Like it's very important for U of T students. And the Acorn advisory team is basically like if they're gonna roll out new features, if they're gonna fix bugs, like stuff like that. Like the advisory team like beta tests it, I guess. So I mentioned the varsity earlier. I didn't say what it was. It's the student newspaper at U of T. And I joined it because I like writing a lot. Like I think I'm a really good writer. That's up for interpretation. But I think I'm a good writer. And I was like, okay, I'll start writing for the varsity. And I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. And I actually wanted to take advantage of writing for the varsity because I'm part of the arts and culture section. And I was like, oh my God, communications for Hart House, the varsity arts and culture. Like we were supposed to have a lot of events. The pandemic totally like screwed that over. But we were just set out to have like a really good year, still are, just different and online. I've definitely taken up writing over the course of the past year, writing for the varsity, writing for myself. I started writing a novel, which sounds really pretentious, but I'm 21. I have nothing better to do right now that we're all like locked up at home. I have finished like most of the Netflix catalog. Like I'm just so bored. I figured writing a novel might help, and it's been very therapeutic.
What's the most interesting aspect of your job as communications co-chair for the art committee?
The most interesting part is definitely getting to talk to like different members of the community. Like when we post something, most likely like between like 3 or 4 people will like comment and stuff. And it's really fun like getting to talk with them, getting to see like what they like, what they don't like, because then we can improve like what we're doing and make it better for everybody basically. And we also get a lot of messages asking about like getting involved, what they would like to see, stuff like that. Like it's just very interesting getting to see like different people's like points of view, what they like, what they don't like. So diverse.
What's the most difficult aspect?
The most difficult part is definitely the creative outlet, be it designing a poster, writing a caption. The other day we had an event and I was designing the poster and it took me the entire day to design the poster. I went through at least 30 different designs and I was doing them all by hand. It took me so long to do each one. But every time I finished one, I like wasn't happy with it. I was like, this could be better. By the end, we chose like a really like minimalist design, like in part because I was kind of like tired and like minimalism is easy.
What can a university graduate do with a degree like yours?
What can a university graduate do with an anthropology degree? Basically anything. It's a very broad field. I should have mentioned this earlier. In anthropology, we study politics, economics, history, art, like you name it, we study it. So what can a university graduate do? Literally anything. If you want to be a doctor, you can go to med school with an anthropology degree. You'll be very prepared, trust me. If you want to be a lawyer, you can go to law school. I want to go to law school. And I'm studying anthropology. Obviously, with an anthropology degree, you can go on to grad school, get a master's, a PhD, become an anthropologist. But there's actually nothing holding you back with anthropology. Like in my experience, like I feel very prepared for anything.
What do you plan on doing after graduating?
My plans are to graduate, undergraduate, obviously. And I have yet to decide whether I want to stay in Canada because since I want to go to grad school, basically, U of T is not really like I'm an international student, and U of T doesn't take a lot of international students for grad school, like be it med school, law school, like actual grad school. U of T isn't really like if you're domestic, you have a much better chance of getting in. So I might go to a different school. I might go back to the States. I really want to go to, so I either want to go to France or I want to go to New Zealand, which either one sounds really exciting. And I study there. Like I still want to get my law degree. I kind of want to do like a business program for like, I feel like that might prepare me for marketing, but law school is basically like marketing. So like, I don't know. That's a bridge I'll cross when I get there. But right now, definitely want to go from undergraduate to law school.
What is one final piece of advice you would offer high schoolers?
In Spanish, we have a saying: if something is meant for you, it'll come to you, even if you move out of its way. And if it's not meant for you, it won't come for you, even if you stand in front of it. And I remember feeling so nervous applying to college, going to college. It just seemed like a totally different world and a totally different experience. And in a way it was, but everything is fine. Like, it's not that big of a difference. It's not that much harder. Whatever happens is going to happen. And what's most important is that there's like no doubt in my mind that high school prepares you for college. Like, it doesn't matter if you go to a private school or a public school, or if you go to like whatever school, like you're definitely prepared enough for college. So don't worry about that. Just definitely, yeah, just relax. Everything turns out fine in the end, like no matter what happens.